Here's a video, guys, that we're getting ready to watch. This gentleman here, probably one of the most saddest stories I've heard in a very long time, if not ever. This gentleman had the unfortunate opportunity to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. But this definitely kind of would just cover bases and allow us to see, man, just how much protection we need and just how much protection we have for those of us who are actually seeking this kind of protection. I don't know what I would do had I been in this same situation that you're getting ready to hear about. But this gentleman here, he was the right man for the job to be able to be in a position today, right here, right now, sharing with us his very words. Let's get into this.
Years ago, I was walking to the store and I was confronted by a group of guys that chose me at random to take my life. I want to make it clear that I wasn't doing anything wrong. I didn't bother anybody. I was simply walking to the store. They came towards me and said, "What are you doing out here?" I said, "Nothing, just chilling." And right at that moment, one of them pulled out a .45 caliber and shot me at point blank range. It all happened so fast. I fell back and hit the ground so hard. As I was laying on the ground, I saw a guy standing over me and he said, "Peace out, homie." And then he shot me 7 more times. At that moment, I saw an angel right in front of me. It had his arms crossed like this, and every bullet that was going into me went into the angel first. I thought it was over for me. I could hear them laughing. They were picking up shell casings all around me, and they were joking with each other about what they just did. I wanted to move. I wanted to scream, but I didn't because I knew that they were still there. I heard a car pull up, and I heard them jump into the car, and the car sped away. It was right at that moment that I took my first breath and said, "Oh God, oh God." I was so scared. I looked at myself and I couldn't believe what I was seeing across me. I tried to yell for help and I could barely hear my voice. I couldn't move one of my arms, but I could move the other one. And I held it up, waving back and forth, trying to stop cars that were going by, but nobody stopped. They just kept going. I dragged myself out of the street so I wouldn't get hit by cars or anything else. And I called 911. I told them where I was, even though it was difficult for them to hear me speak. I was laying next to a street sign and I was able to whisper to them that I had been shot and tell them which street I was on. When the police got there, they put crime scene tape all around me and they asked me my name and how old I was. I was struggling so hard to breathe at that point. I was thinking, this is it. I'm not gonna make it. The ambulance got there and they loaded me in there. They started describing what happened to me over the radio. I heard one of them tell me to hold on and keep my eyes open. At that point, that's all I was trying to do. I kept telling myself, keep breathing and keep your eyes open. When I arrived at the hospital, so many nurses and doctors were helping me and doing everything that they could to save my life. I also saw people standing around looking at me like, how is he still alive? I want to tell you this. I saw that same angel that I saw earlier standing in the room with me. Right then I closed my eyes. I opened them later and I was connected to everything. I kept thinking, how am I still alive? I saw a nurse standing next to me and she said, "You made it. You made it, Marcus." She said, 2 days ago, you were shot 8 times. She told me it was a procedure that was over 8 hours. So many things were done to me that I can't even name them on this video. Just know that I shouldn't have made it. I had an incredible trauma team and surgeons that saved my life. They told me later that they had never seen anything like it before. I shared this story with you because I wanted to let you know that we serve a God that could do anything but fail. Miracles happen every day. You may not have got shot like me, but you are a miracle. Out of everything that happened to you your entire life, you made it. You are still here, and that is a miracle. God still has a plan for your life. It doesn't mean that you won't go through painful moments. It doesn't mean that you won't cry any tears. But the good news is that God will be right there with you, and he will never leave you. Look, if this helped you or blessed you in any way, pass this on to someone who needs it.
And that blessed me, so here I am passing it to everyone else. So, very interesting, man. Sad story. Beautiful ending, of course, that, we're able to witness him here being alive, but just the unfortunate events of being the wrong place at the wrong time. You just gotta know, like, there's really people in this world, man, that really mean a different type of evil. Like, they really mean harm. And they wish harm onto others. And this is why I say this very important, man, that we thank God for the protection that He does have over our life. And if you don't feel that you have that, I'm going to need you to go ahead and seek for some. Because there's things like this that happen all the time to innocent people. And like he said, this gentleman, he gets shot once. Then the other guy comes in and pretty much tells him, peace out, man. Like, this is it. With the intention to end that man's life. But with God's protection, praise be unto God, he was good, man. But just to think about that, and then what he said at the end there, which is very important, because like I'm saying, like it's imperative, if you will, that you do have a relationship with Christ, so that way you can seek after his protection and those miracles that each and every one of us, let's be honest, are looking for. But also have an understanding that, sure, in that walk with Christ, it may not always be easy. Sometimes the road might get rough. Sometimes you might get met with challenges, different trials, different situations, different temptations, if you will. But more importantly, knowing that above all that, the challenging times, the hard days, the trials, the tribulations, they become worth it. Because I know at the end of the day, above all, I'm protected by the protector. It's just very sad to me that people could even do such a thing to someone. An innocent man just minding his own business. How ill, how sick have we become as people to where people can no longer innocently go about their daily chores and daily errands without the worry and the threat of being unalived, of being harmed. And to think of the selfishness in such an act, for that man to tell him, peace out. I'm going to finish you off. How terrible and selfish of an act that could be, not to even worry, care, have any sort of concern that if this gentleman has any attachments. What if he was a father? What if he was a husband? A brother? A counselor? A friend? An uncle? You just never know, man. But the selfish act, just the pure selfishness, I feel like that's really what it is, man. It's sickness and it's selfishness that leads people to do such a thing to innocent individuals, man. What the world needs now, what does that song say, love? Sweet love. What the world needs now is prayer, sweet prayer. I'm just glad that he was here and that he is here to tell such a story. And I'm glad that in the way that he's telling it, he's using it to show the miraculousness of God. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that this really bothers me, y'all. This really bothers me. Makes me uncomfortable. Not at ease. That this is the world that so many of us are creating by partaking in such terrible activity as to intentionally harm someone else, to intentionally end someone else's life. This is unfortunate, but praise be unto God, man. Just like this gentleman said, I'm going to add more onto it, man. I just encourage everyone to get a relationship, build a relationship. We need protection, and you're going to want protection from the ultimate protector. That's all I got for you guys on this one, man. I appreciate it if you guys stayed all the way to the next one. Pray for this, man. Pray for this man's healing. Pray for his mind. Just think about what he could possibly be going through from such a traumatic event. That's all I got, y'all. I'm out.